everybody. Welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast. We are really excited today. We are talking fall harvest, and we actually have fall harvest, which we didn't have last year. So that's like an exciting thing about 2020, which yay. I'm so glad to have something to look forward to. And I am film critic Rachel Wagner, and I'm very excited about my guest today. We have friend of the podcast, Dory, is here.
Hi, everyone.
And we have our newest co-host. It's very exciting. Kari is here, and thank you so much for coming on and becoming a member of our team. We're so excited to have you.
Oh, I'm so excited too. Thank you so much.
Yes.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So if people didn't see your first episode on the podcast, you did a couple of the pilots that we tried with Army Wives and other things. Then you also did our dating podcast,
right,
which was super fun.
Right.
So if people didn't see those ones because they were kind of different than were in our regular episode, why don't you introduce yourself and tell people about how you started liking Hallmark movies and what you do on your Instagram?
Sure. Thanks. So Hallmark, I've really always loved Hallmark movies. I just kind of remember flitting in and out, like seeing a nice movie on TV or something, watching the Hallmark Hall of Fame when they came out on DVDs, even I would buy them and everything. But really it wasn't until last fall, about a year ago, that I just dove in. I'm not even sure what brought me there, but it was happy TV. I could watch it with my children in the room. It was this fun stuff together. So the fall movies last year, the Christmas movies, and then we really got into the mysteries together this winter. So I had Hallmark on the brain. I had been watching so much wrapping presents and stuff before Christmas that it really went hand in hand with this New Year's resolution that I had for myself. I wanted to draw more. And that was always a pastime I had. I'm a little doodler, and I just think it's really fun, but I never made time for it, really. So my New Year's resolution was I was going to draw something every day, which, to be honest, is a really overwhelming New Year's resolution, because as soon as you sit down with a blank piece of paper, nothing comes from my head. No inspiration except Hallmark. Hallmark was there in my brain. I had all these things running through my head. So I started an Instagram account called Hallmark Comics, and kind of mixing my love of drawing, my New Year's resolution of drawing every day, post something every day, and my love for just the lighter side of life and comics.
Nice.
So Hallmark inspired comics, really. I have people say, "What's that thing you do?" And I'm like, "What? Are you a Hallmark fan?" And they're like, "I don't know." I'm like, okay, I'll tell you about it, but really you need to be a Hallmark fan to like it. Maybe not, but it's fun. That's what I do. Yeah.
We love it. We think it's great.
So cool. I can't wait to see some holiday comics.
Yeah.
Like, I am ready.
They are coming.
Yes, we're so excited. It's going to be awesome. And you might not have realized, since you were kind of new to Hallmark last year, that all the drama that happened with Fall Harvest last year.
Fill me in.
Oh, it is good.
Dory, you want to explain what happened last year, the madness?
So last year, Fall Harvest, oh my goodness.
There were like 4 movies, I think, and the Good Witch movie. So 5 total.
Okay.
5 total. And as podcasters, I have a podcast as well. And as podcasters, like, that is when our big season starts. Like, you are ready to go.
Okay.
And Hallmark has a habit of changing the schedule. But this last year, they went nuts. Like, all of the movies disappeared, basically.
Really?
And we were like, yes, we were all like prepared, getting our podcast ready. And all of a sudden, movies are just pulled from the schedule. And we're
have they aired now?
Well, we're going to be talking about one of them.
Yes, one of them.
I know one, actually, because they did this in the spring.
Yeah, basically they had one movie that was like Love Under the Sun or something like that was Jessica Lowndes, which was obviously a summer movie. Yeah. But it had nothing fall at all. And they even talked about going to a summer soiree in there, which was outrageous.
Summer movie. It screamed summer.
Oh, yeah.
Goodness.
She was wearing like tank tops and things like that. And then the only fall movie they had was Love, Fall in Order.
Yeah.
With our friends from the Bubbly Sesh, which was super cute.
Mhm.
They were in it, and Aaron Cahill and Trevor Donovan. Yeah,
and it was
were in
very
it.
cute, and
was
I
cute.
wanted more. As someone who loves Fall Harvest, I wanted more, and then nothing.
Yeah, and then the Good Witch movie was not great last year, which was disappointing. And because the previously had been, I thought, pretty fun, but the one last year it wasn't very good. And so it was like, oh man, they really bombed. And so then they had, supposedly we're gonna have Country at Heart, which we'll talk about, and then we're going to have Love Under the Olive Tree. Last year we had Brant from Deck the Hallmark on for our preview last year, and then it was almost like as soon as we finished posting the preview, it was like wow, cancel. And one of them, I think it was Country at Heart, they canceled like 2 days before it was going to air, which is just insane.
In the fall as
in the
well
fall.
as the spring?
In the fall as well as in the spring.
And they had been promoting it like that was going to be their big movie. So, and they were promoting it up until a couple days before it was supposed to premiere. Like this was supposed to be the big one. It had music, it had Jesse Schramm, like it was, all their energy was put into this movie, and then just poof, just disappeared, just gone with the wind. And we were everyone was like, what happened?
What happened? Well, this makes sense too, because when I watched Love Under the Olive Tree, I was like, this is a fall movie.
Yeah.
What is happening? Like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
But this makes much more sense because when did that one premiere this summer?
Yeah, that was in June.
Yeah.
For whatever they call A Little Romance, I think they called it. Because there was no June Brides. The whole thing is madness. I mean, I don't know any other network or studio that would pull something without actually having at least a tweet saying, hey, this is what's happening. Nothing.
Still no explanation. Still. And then our thought was that they just pulled everything because they panicked and wanted to start Christmas movies because Lifetime had a bunch of Christmas movies. So that was our theory, that they just flipped out. They were like, you know what, we're pressing the Christmas button. Fall doesn't matter. It doesn't exist. We're done.
Yeah.
But it was really disappointing to people who follow this stuff very closely and to fans who look forward to these Saturday premieres throughout the year.
Yeah. And they also canceled the Abracadabra, the crossword mysteries out of nowhere. They had a whole preview show and everything, and all of a sudden it's just gone. And they ended up airing that in January.
That's right.
Yeah. So it's madness. So when we do this fall preview, we have a huge grain of salt that this may all end up being pulled for no apparent reason whatsoever.
Send your prayers.
That's right.
Not this year, 2020.
Our true preview show should just be whatever's on. That's the preview. Whatever they decide to air. But we're going to try, and eventually most of this will hopefully air. So.
Oh my goodness. And I mean, Hallmark loves to trick us with the schedule, and Rachel loves to laugh at us because we do a bracket where we pit Hallmark movies against each other, Christmas movies, to see what the best movie is. And we do it fully based on the schedule that they give us, and it always changes, and we are always furious at a certain part, and Rachel's like, all the feels girls are having meltdowns, I know it.
It's gonna be next to impossible now. I don't know. I mean, I almost feel like you should just every week announce what you're gonna be, what's the next bracket's gonna be, as opposed to announcing it all at once, because they're gonna be making movies well into November. I mean, and I know they always do a couple, but I think it's going to be like a lot.
I know.
That are going to be.
So too.
Well, thanks for catching me up on that drama last fall. The ones that I saw or caught up with then when I started my little obsession here must have been these reruns. Yeah. I'm looking at my checklist. Yeah, absolutely. They're older movies, and here we go. Let's get some new ones out there,
Yes.
Hallmark.
Let's talk about it. All right. So the first one that we're going to talk about is called Follow Me to Daisy Hills. And this was definitely an acquisition for sure. Yeah, you can tell because the writer has never done anything else. This is literally his first screenplay that he's ever done, at least by what I could find. If other people have other information, I'm sorry. I used IMDb. I used all the things that I could find. And then Sean Garrity only has one other credit on IMDb. So the director. So it's very new, and you can just tell that it is an acquisition. And also you can usually find there's another poster from when it aired in Canada, which is the case here. But that doesn't mean it's bad. It could be really good. They have Cindy Busby, Marshall Williams, Jade Michael, Paul Eisenbree are in it. I mean, some of our favorite Hallmark movies were acquisitions, like Very Merry Mix-Up, for instance, was done by a separate studio. So you don't know, but I'll read the story for this
But some
one.
of our least favorites are also acquisitions.
Yes, they are.
Romance in the Air, anyone, or whatever that was
Another
called.
Cindy Busby one.
I know.
I
I mean,
I'm
she's been.
nervous about this one, but that's okay.
She deserved better.
Yeah, I mean, because we got Cindy in June, we got Cindy in August, and now we're getting her again in September. This airs on the 19th of September, and it's the story revolves around Jo and Blake. Jo realizes that her family-owned general store in Daisy Hills isn't doing great business. To save the store, her father, Duke, calls up for help, but the help is none other than Jo's ex-boyfriend, Blake, a former Daisy Hills native turned New York business consultant. Initially, the two former lovers disagree and approach the situation differently. Jo thinks a personal touch is needed for a small town, while Blake is more concerned with how to make a profit. Eventually, they reach a middle ground and soon find themselves falling back in love. But just as things start to look good, Blake is approached for his dream in New York City, and uncertainty arises, making Jo and Blake contemplate their future. So if that's not a Hallmark movie, I don't know what is. You got your Save the Store, you got your Bad Man of Business, you have your business consultant, you have your ex-boyfriend coming into the small town to be reformed, you have him getting the offer in New York City, which nothing good ever happens in New York City unless it involves like Rockefeller Center and the tree or the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I think those are the only
good thing.
Valid things in New York.
Yes.
But yeah, it's pretty exciting. What are your thoughts, Dory, about this one?
I mean, like you said, this sounds like a Hallmark movie if there ever was a Hallmark movie. I love Cindy Busby, and I know I just really hated on Romance in the Air because I thought it was terrible, but I watched the whole thing, and I watched the whole thing because of her. I love her. I think she's wonderful. And so I will absolutely watch this. I will be hopeful that it's one of our better acquisitions. But yeah, we'll see. I mean,
what do you think, Kari?
Hit or miss.
Yeah, I agree with Dory. I think it could be, you root for it. You really root for it. You're like,
exactly.
It's like, oh, can she bring something to this character and this storyline that's a little tired, but also I read, you read it and I'm like, sounds good. That's Hallmark. And it's going to be fun and it's going to be beautiful and everything. So you root for it. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to like parts of it, I think. But I get nervous about these two together. And I think that's because I didn't like him with Jessie Schramm. And I think she could pull off any co-star.
Yeah.
But this guy, in what was that?
The Maze movie, I hated that.
Not great.
It
no
was
chemistry. Yeah.
But that had like a love triangle, which I hated that love triangle. It was so bad. And I just felt like, who is this guy? He doesn't deserve this love triangle. What's going on? And he just, wasn't doing it for me in that movie, and I don't know, I just really disliked it.
Oh, I know. So I'm hopeful for Marshall and Cindy now to bring life into this. Joe and
Yeah, Joe and Blake.
Joe and Blake, promising names.
They are promising names. Come on.
I would say that Cindy is a bit hit and miss for me. I really like Royal Hearts. That was probably my favorite of hers. I think James Brolin is really funny in that movie. He's like the grumpy old man who just wants his dog, and I like that one.
What don't you like Cindy in?
Not a big fan of the second Darcy movie. She's a little bit pouty to me. And there's a couple movies where she is a little too pouty for my tastes. Where it's just like, I can't handle her getting so upset over like a ridiculous thing, especially that Darcy movie. And I'm trying to think. I didn't love her Wedding March movie, but that really wasn't her fault.
Girl, that doesn't count. That's not her fault. That is not her fault.
Yeah. But in general, I like her.
Did you like the weather movie?
Yeah, that one was okay. It was kind of ridiculous, but
I think you were just desperate for a Hallmark movie.
Yeah,
I still stand by the fact that I think Rachel was just thirsty for a Hallmark movie, and she said she loved it when she didn't. Because she texted me and said she liked it, and I was like, no, you didn't. You just really wanted a Hallmark.
I really liked the umbrellas, and I really liked. But no, there's some truth to that. Hey, I'll take it. But when she has fits and she's getting very upset, that's not my favorite with her.
It's not believable. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, woo, slow down. But she can be super cute, and she's a super nice person. I love her. But Royal Hearts is probably my favorite of hers. And so we'll see how she does with Marshall Williams and Follow Me to Daisy Hills. Yeah. We'll see how it goes. I tend to not like save the farm type stories. They're usually kind of boring. Yeah. But we'll see. For Fall Harvest, we give our preview rating 1 out of 5 leaves. So how many leaves, as far as your hope for this movie, would you give it, Dory?
I love the leaves. I give it 3 leaves. I am cautiously optimistic, but overall optimistic.
Yeah. Kari, what about you?
This is funny. I was going to say 3 leaves because I'm pessimistic. which is true, right, for both of us, with the 3 right in the middle there.
We're towing the line. We're really towing the line right now.
Yeah.
Because this has some strikes against it. But you know what? I'm ready for some fall. Give me the pumpkins, the corn mazes, all of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna also give it 3. If I had a writer or director that I was more confident in, like Julie Sherman Wolfe or someone like that, then maybe I might be a little higher. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. So then on 9/26, we have Falling for Look Lodge. And this is starring Clark Backo, who's new to Hallmark, and Jonathan Keltz, who was in Once Upon a Prince, which we all really liked in this podcast. And this is written by Claire Ross Dunn. This is her first for Hallmark. And directed by Max McGuire, who has done stuff for Lifetime with Mistletoe and Menorahs and Rock and Roll Christmas. So he has some background there as the director, even though I didn't love Mistletoe and Menorahs. But anyway, the plot is when the activities director at Look Lodge quits, Lily seizes the opportunity for a promotion and must immediately entertain a wedding party. While keeping her boss, who is also her sister, happy, Lily helps the bride's estranged brother, Noah, put his job aside to help plan the wedding and reconnect with family. So, Dory, what were your thoughts about this one?
There seems to be a lot going on here.
Yeah.
I mean, a wedding, reconnecting with family, an estranged brother, a promotion on the line. There's a lot going on. but I'm here for it.
I mean,
quite honestly.
I do think this is the first mixed race couple that we will have had in a Hallmark movie that I can think of, at least. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's great.
That's exciting.
I'll take it. I mean,
Yeah.
here's my thing. I love Fall Harvest, but I also am really looking for Fall Harvest to take some chances and do some different things. So if this is like an interracial couple, like I'm here for it. I'm ready for something different and something new. And so while there is a lot going on, I hope that I hope all of these storylines can be very cohesive and entertaining.
Yeah.
But
what do
I'll
you
take
think?
it.
What do you think, Kari?
Yeah, I think that this one has a lot of potential. I like the lodge thing. I think that's kind of fun. This event planner thing is a little funny to me. I don't love that. I always feel like they make such a big deal and then they show someone setting a candle out and I'm like, okay. It's just weird, like this event planner. But I like the mixed race couple. I thought Dater's Handbook.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're right.
She was yet her family did not reflect her.
Right.
I don't know.
Drove me crazy.
Yeah.
Didn't that?
Her mom was white.
I'm curious if they'll do that again, or if they'll have her. I don't know. Will she be from a black family?
Yeah, we haven't seen a trailer yet. We've just seen pictures on the website.
So I don't know. I don't know if that. I didn't love that, and so I hope they don't do that again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
But I
agree wholeheartedly. I know. I think you're right. I like the lodge thing. Like that usually pulls me in, like a wedding at a lodge, an event at a lodge. I like that. So how do you feel about it, Rachel?
I'm a little nervous about the whole wedding part of it because if there's bridezillas in this wedding party is not my favorite. And I find that very insufferable. So that's the part that makes me a little nervous is her having to entertain a wedding party. But I like Jonathan Keltz in Once Upon a Prince, and I don't know if he's British or not, or if he will have an American accent. Like we said, we haven't seen a trailer. He had a British accent in Once Upon a Prince, so that could be dreamy. Who knows?
If he's estranged, maybe he, can keep his accent because I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, it sounds fun. I think I'm more excited about this than Follow Me to Daisy Hills. At least this isn't a Save the Farm plot. So I probably will give it a 3.5 leaves if I can do half a leaf. I mean, I would be again more excited if I knew this writer. If it was somebody that I was familiar with, like Nina or someone like that, then I'd be like, oh yeah, this will be hilarious. So I don't know. How many leaves do you give it, Kari?
4.
All right.
I don't know. Maybe I'm too high on this, but I like it. I think I'm hopeful for it.
Yeah. What about you, Dory?
I was also going to say 4. I think that while there is the chance that there could be some concerning aspects, I think the payoff would be huge if it's done well. Yeah. And so I want to put my backing behind it, taking a big swing and hitting. Yeah. Fingers crossed.
So now we have on the 3rd of October, the much talked about the Country at Heart. We'll see if we finally get it or not. I don't know. This is the 3rd time that they have promoted this. And we, just to show how crazy this has been, we have already interviewed for this movie. We've interviewed Nal Mater, Jesse Schramm, and Rick Garman already for this movie. And
wow.
So I told Anne, who does all of our appointments, I told her, I said, why don't you try to contact the director, Bradley Walsh, and just tell him he's the last piece in the puzzle. We've interviewed everybody else.
He's got to complete. He's got to complete the circle.
So hopefully, if you're listening, Bradley, Yeah. Come on the podcast.
With this being deferred 2 times.
Yeah, 2 times.
And I mean, does this take your leaf rating down, or what had you rated this in anticipation for last fall and for the spring?
I should have, that's a good thought. I should have looked that up and see what we gave it last fall with Brent from Deck the Hallmark. I can't remember. I think I think I was pretty excited because Niall Mater, Jessie Schramm can actually sing. She was on Nashville. She's a singer. So that was intriguing. The director, Bradley Walsh, he's done a bunch of Hallmark stuff, including Christmas at Angel Falls, which I love. So he is, and then Rick Garman, I mean, is a legend. He's done a million Christmas movies and Hallmark movies. So it had everything going for it as far as something to look forward to. And I think they're even doing, if I'm not mistaken, a whole concert that I saw on an ad that they were doing a Country at Heart concert. Country at Heart concert special Friday, October 2nd on Hallmark Channel.
They had to pick up something new.
I guess it's on Facebook. So it's not on. Visit Facebook on Friday, October 2nd for a special at-home concert featuring the stars and music from Country at Heart. So.
Well, this one I'm excited for because even without knowing all this drama like that, like seeing the previews for it and the 3 main characters, I felt like, maybe I'm going too high here, but I feel like this could be like released in theaters. Like this one has a quality look to it, and it doesn't just look like, oh sure, but the storyline seemed interesting. The talent, I don't know. It seemed like it could be a really high class production from Hallmark here.
Yeah.
So I hope it does. I hope it is.
Well, let me read the summary here. It's struggling Nashville musician Shayna is on the verge of giving up on her career and returns to her small town home when a chance encounter with prolific songwriter Grady changes everything. He's trying writing songs for country music star Duke Sterling, and Shayna seems like the perfect writing partner. The two grow closer and romance blooms as they work on their love song. But when Shayna meets Duke, who takes a liking to her and asks her to be his opening act, it undermines everything she and Grady created, and Shayna feels forced to choose between love and possible stardom. So it's pretty exciting. What are your thoughts on this, Dory, after a 3rd time?
I'm not excited.
Oh no!
Here's the deal. We've been waiting for so long, and they have toyed with my emotions so much. I'm not excited, Hallmark. This is what happens. Yeah. This is what happens. Oh. And Carrie's like dying. And it breaks my heart that I'm not excited, but I am not. And I love Jessie Schramm. I love Rick Garman. I love, even the movies that aren't my favorite, like they're really well written and they're really interesting. And I like him a lot. But guess what? I'm not excited.
Well, I've actually seen this movie.
Ruined it for me. I'm so mad.
So are you going to watch it?
I'm absolutely going to watch it. And guess what? I'll probably love it. I'm just not excited right now. It's like, part of me is like, is this really gonna happen this time? What? I mean, come on now.
Yeah. It has to woo you back. It has to win you back.
Yes.
Maybe that concert will woo me back. You're right, Carrie. My heart has been hurt and I need it. I need to be won back, and I deserve it.
Well,
are.
So I have actually seen this movie, so I will withhold my Leafs rating, and because obviously that would be my actual rating, and that I don't want to prejudice the I don't know, I don't want to give everything away for our recap episode, but yeah, I'm curious to see what people think of it for sure. I love Jessie and Niall. They are the best. So yeah, they were a good combo. Carrie, how many Leafs you giving this one?
I'm going 5. I'm going full hope.
Nice.
This is me being just like super, super hopeful.
Yeah. And you, Dory, how many
One.
sad leaves will you give it?
One leaf
Okay.
blowing in the wind.
Yeah.
is
See what
all
you
I
did,
have.
Hallmark? You broke Dory.
You broke me.
You broke
You
her.
broke me.
Yeah.
A super fan. You broke me. But Rachel, I have a question for you
Uh-huh.
about this movie. Do you think that I will like it? Her face is saying probably not.
Oh no!
How do you feel about ones that aren't as heavy on the romance? Like, I would say that this movie is more about the songwriting and them as like a creative team and their sort of dispute with this Duke Sterling guy and him like having confidence in his writing than it is actually about their romance.
I'm okay with that. I'm
Okay.
okay with that.
Then I think you'll like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we thinking, are we gonna get a sequel?
Well, I did hear that.
Focus on the romance and sequel number 2.
I know, because we're here for the romance, right? What's going on?
I mean, there is some romance, but I would say it's pretty, for a Hallmark movie, it felt pretty minimal compared to other movies.
Well, I don't mind that. Remember that Christmas movie from maybe it was from last year, 2 years ago?
The
Time for you
Christmas?
to come home for Christmas, or time for me to whatever. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
When they're I forget the name.
No, which one? There's 2 of them. Time for me to come home for Christmas. Time for you to come home.
Right. Which one was it?
The first
one with
one.
The music.
The first one.
Time for me. Okay.
Time for me. Yeah.
Which one was it?
Okay. So that's the caveat I would give for that one, but it's it is what it is. So we'll see what y'all think.
Your face said no, Rachel, when I asked you that question.
If you're watching the video,
this.
Okay, we got to go on. We've got 5 more. Okay. Then on the 10th, we have My Best Friend's Bouquet, and this was originally called Never Brides.
Never Brides.
Way better name.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
And this stars Chaley Rose and Nathan Whittle, and they must love Chaley Rose. I interviewed her, and she's delightful, so I understand why they love her. But I just feel like they're really promoting her a lot, and they really you can just tell that they really liked working with her last year. Because I mean, they have her in this, they have her in a Christmas movie. Mm-hmm. She's definitely a favorite. Her Christmas movie last year was, I thought, fine. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like my favorite or anything, but it was
I loved the last 45 minutes.
Yeah.
That is Christmas duet.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Because I don't necessarily remember anything about the movie except there was a lodge, but it put her on the map for me. I mean, I was like, ooh, I want to see more of her. Okay, wait, where? So I'm excited about this one. Yeah.
And then Nathan Whittle. We'd like to take a second to thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. They're the good folks over at ModCloth. And at ModCloth, we make getting dressed fun. Back to being independently owned. We're all about perfect fits for every body. Unique, mood-boosting prints, vintage-inspired, versatile styles that make you look good. But more importantly, feel good. Find your joy at ModCloth. And one of the things that impresses me the most about ModCloth is the number of sizes that they have, going all the way up to 4X on some items. And then extra small. And so they really have something for everybody, every size, which is really nice. And also I really like the prints that they have. There, as I said, they're very vintage inspired. They're unique. They even have some things right now for Halloween, the Happy Hallow Queens sweaters and jewelry and other things. And they have outerwear. We're going to be looking to get for fall, going to be getting a coat. Then you can find something really nice at ModCloth. So it's a great place to go to support and to find a unique style so you don't look like everybody else. To get 20% off your purchase of $75 or more, including sale items, go to modcloth.com. That's modcloth.com and enter code Hallmarkies at checkout. The promo code cannot be combined with other offers. It's a great deal. So go to modcloth.com, enter code Hallmarkies for 20% off your order of $75 or more. This movie is directed by Jessica Harmon, and this is, I think, her first time directing a movie. She's been an actress in a lot of television shows, so that's cool. And then it is written by Elizabeth Hackett and Hilary Galanoui, with story by Brittany Brown and Jenna Palermo. So there's a team behind this one. And it's this is on the 10th of October, and it's Josie Hughes is a hopeless romantic who believes in the kind of romance in black and white movies where the leading lady finds her one true love and gets swept off her feet. She also believes the wedding bouquet always finds its way to the right person when tossed by the bride, as proven time and again at weddings dating back to her childhood. But single Josie ends up with the bouquet at her friend Emma's wedding instead of their not single friend Athena, and fears she's wrecked her chances of getting engaged. But when Josie begins dating eligible bachelor Will after meeting at the reception, much to the dismay of her longtime friend Alex, and that's this Whittle, Nathan Whittle, who has secretly held a torch for her since college, she decides the bouquet is responsible for the budding romance and begins to think that Will is the one. As Josie clings to the notion that the bouquet is always right, she's missing the real world signs that her perfect match is someone else's who's been right in front of her all along. So this is the power of the bouquet toss. Are we invested in that, Kari?
Yes. Yes, 100%. I am invested, not necessarily in the bouquet and the little magic behind that, but in the friend, the best friend, always there, holding a torch for her. She doesn't see it. She's a romantic, head in the clouds. Love that storyline. I will take a best friend turned the one storyline any day.
Yeah, friends to lovers is definitely one of my favorite tropes. Especially, I don't know, just like when you see the guy being like super needy and lonely, that's always very attractive. That's ridiculous.
Because you can come in and be the savior. No, I like it. I like that storyline.
And they're kind of staring from across the room. You get that sort of sad, mopey. I mean, it's really
he knows
good.
her well. He already loves her. She's got a, solid ground there.
Dory, what are your thoughts?
I think that description was intense, but I literally could not be more excited for this movie. Yeah. I am beyond ready. This is the one I am most excited for in the fall. I am here for all of it. I am here for the childhood friend who really loves her. I am here for her not noticing. I am here for the magic bouquet. I love it. A magic bouquet. All these friend weddings. I am so excited. I am just like coming out of my skin. I'm so excited. I love this. I have loved it since it was announced when it was called Never Brides, which I think is a great title that they should have kept, but I'm still here for it. And I mean, oh my goodness. I'm dying for this movie. I want it in my face right now.
And I forgot to mention that Jamie Calica is Will, the eligible bachelor, and he is so great.
Not be cuter. Oh my goodness.
He was wonderful to interview, so charming. So excited to see him getting more work. And I think this sounds really fun. I think it could be super, super cute. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to give this a good solid 4 leaves. Yeah. And Dory, what about you?
Are you kidding? I give this 5 leaves, 10 pumpkins, 30 scarecrows. Like all of it. All of the
it.
fall, all
Yeah.
the hay,
Drinking.
everything. All of it.
Yeah.
Same. Me too. 5.
Okay. Very good. All right. Our last fall harvest movie is called Sweet Autumn, and this will be on the 17th of October. This stars Nikki DeLoach, Andrew Walker, and then we don't know. I couldn't find the writer or the director, but it's Maggie is a successful entrepreneur, returns home for a will reading and discovers she's inherited half of her aunt's famed maple candy business. What she doesn't understand is why Aunt Dee's maple supplier Dex inherited the other half. Her return also coincides with the town's Sweet Autumn Festival, and through a series of letters Aunt Dee left, Maggie and Dex search for the reason behind her aunt's final wishes. As she and Dex grow closer, Maggie must decide if the life she's built is the one she wants. So this is also a classic Hallmark movie. You got the divided fortune for no reason at all. You got the woman playing matchmaker from behind the grave. You have the famed maple candy business, which is that a thing? I didn't even know. Maple candy.
Where is this set? It has. Please tell me Vermont. Please.
I was just about to say it's
only
gotta
thing.
be Vermont.
I think it was filmed in Utah, so props to us. But I think that it's I would imagine it's New England, at least somewhere.
Yes, that's
Vaguely New England.
the only thing that makes sense.
And she has to decide whether her life in the city that she's built is worth it, or she should embrace the maple candy business that her aunt left her behind. I mean, this is great stuff. I just, and I love how these candy companies are so item specific. It just makes me think of last year with the candy canes. I mean, the idea that she was being approached to make chocolates was such an affront and so insulting. What? You make candy canes and you want me to make chocolates? That is an insult to my integrity. But I mean, you gotta like this movie. I mean, the plot, it sounds super fun, and Nikki DeLoach and Andrew Walker are a great combo. Fall Festival, that's right. Sweet Autumn Fest. We can all be envious of the festivals since we can't go out in public anymore. can all experience that with them. I think it sounds fun. I mean, they have great chemistry. I really like the Perfect Catch, and their Christmas movie, whatever, Dream One, was good. So, yeah, I'm going to give this one 4.5 Leafs. Mm-hmm. Just because the plot sounds a little dumb, but I'm here for it. Dory, how many Leafs?
5 for sure.
Okay.
5 maple leaf candies. I think this sounds amazing. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
This sounds so good.
Yeah.
I love a divided fortune, a divided house, a divided farm. Love that. They are Nikki DeLoach and Andrew Walker are fully a Hallmark dream team. They're so good together. Like, I will be genuinely surprised if I don't like this movie. Genuinely. Because it sounds like it has enough to keep me invested, even if I'm not crazy about the writing or whatever. I still think I'll like this one.
And hopefully Andrew Walker can redeem himself from that super disappointing Christmas on My Mind last year. The
Amnesia movie.
Amnesia. The Amnesia movie.
Amnesia in 2019. Amnesia is a solid 2014 storyline. I do not know what.
It was so boring. It was so disappointing.
Amnesia movies in the last year.
Yeah.
That movie was bananas, and so much happened in the first 5 minutes. Like, there's a car accident, an amnesia diagnosis, a return to the hometown. I mean, in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was bonkers.
But then, like, nothing happened. Everything was exactly the same as a normal, like, everybody treated her as if it was just like a normal day. They're just like doing normal Hallmark stuff. And I'm like, this person literally just had this life-changing event. They can't remember, like, what?
And nobody cares
so bad.
They were really happy that he was back together with Andrew Walker.
So I love Andrew Walker as a human. As an actor, he needs to show up. He needs to improve for me. Carrie, how many leaves are you giving this one?
Well, I'm struggling with this one. And I feel like I'm going to eat my words. And this is probably going to be my favorite one. But I say 3.5 because I'm a tiny bit sad for Nikki DeLoach that she has to share another inheritance. Has to consider
That's true.
Another job. Was it well worth it? Yes, it was. You worked hard. Like, I'm just sad that she's in this. It's like Truly Madly Sweetly to me. Yeah. It's Two Turtle Doves. I mean, it is.
Oh, Carrie, you're right.
It is. I'm just sad.
Well, she didn't have to share the inheritance in Two Turtle Doves, but there was a lot of matchmaking from behind the grave.
There was some sort of matchmaking from the grave. Yeah.
Well, and also there's matchmaking behind the grave from what's it called? The one that she did with the one she did the year before. I can't think of the name. Where there's also her grandma who has the I can't think of the name.
Oh, was that the one where she went with her
fiance
to the house for one last Christmas?
Yeah. I can't think of what it's called, but anyway. All right, let's move on.
Reunited at Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that it? Reunited?
Yeah.
That's it.
Guys, I just kind of wish. I just want her to do something else.
You want her to fully be the full sole inheritor in a film. That's your goal.
Yeah.
I think that we can do that.
Give her the money.
That's right. Okay. So the next one, I'm glad you're here. We're moving on to Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. So I'm glad that Carrie's here because she can help us with this. So we have the JL Family Ranch, The Wedding Gift on. You have seen the original JL Family Ranch. That's correct?
Yeah, I have.
What did you think?
It was drama. I mean, this family, it was high drama. And it was enjoyable because you felt like you were so far removed, like, whoa, this is so dysfunctional, and let's watch this. I don't know. It was, no one communicated.
Yeah.
But they pulled together at the end, and they saved their ranch from their neighbor. It was very tragic, this little story that happened. It was really tragic how these two families were connected. But they pulled together at the end. I'm actually glad they're going to have a second movie because the end was so abrupt. And you're like, are they okay? Are they okay? Like,
yeah. Well, I'm excited to watch it. I mean, it has a great cast. It's got John Voight, James Caan, Terry Polo, Bo Derek, Trevor Donovan's in it. I mean, there's a lot of, pretty for Hallmark world. That's a pretty stacked cast.
Wait, was Melanie Griffith in that movie? Or did I hallucinate that in the first one?
I think you're thinking of Terry Polo or maybe Bo Derek.
Oh. No, it was Melanie Griffith.
Oh, she was in it?
She was in the first movie. She had a role to play in these two family dramas. She wasn't part of the family, but she had a role to play that was something where she could go back and forth, but it was small and it wasn't very clear. Do you remember, Dory?
I didn't see it. I just remember the poster and her face. And I was like, why is Melanie?
She's betraying two families.
Okay, I have to watch this movie because I'm currently watching the show Yellowstone, which is also about the most dysfunctional family you have ever encountered in your life who owns a ranch. So this is kind of what is in my head and in my heart right now. So I have to watch JL Family Ranch. Okay, I'll find it and I'll watch it.
Yes, watch it. You'll be like, no one likes each other. Why do they have family dinners?
Yes, that is what is happening in Yellowstone. Every night they sit down to dinner and they just fight and someone gets up, storms out.
Yes.
I got to watch this. Oh my gosh.
Oh man. So it's definitely drama, but it's
Okay.
kind of fun in that regard.
So the
All right, I'm
director
gonna
is
find
new. Didn't do the first one. His name's Sean McNamara. And yeah, he has quite the filmography. I had no idea there was so much Baby Genius stuff. He's done a lot. He's done. There's actually, did you know that there is a Baby Geniuses and the Space Baby? That's a thing.
Yeah, classic.
Space Baby?
And the Space Baby. They have Baby Geniuses and the Treasures of Egypt. What is that?
Is this where they make the babies talk?
Yeah, there's Baby Geniuses and the Mystery of the Crown Jewels. What?
I want to watch the Egypt one. That sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, we can do that for our patrons. Do special. Baby Geniuses and the Space Baby 2015.
Space Baby.
And Baby Geniuses and the Treasures of Egypt 2014. I had no idea that it were such a canon. Baby Geniuses canon.
Wow. Well, sounds like we are in for a treat with this movie.
But he has done some stuff. He did for Hallmark. He did both of the Christmas and Evergreen movie. Well, the last two. He did Just in Time for Christmas, which is actually a Hall of Fame. So he's done some stuff for Hallmark. But I just when I saw that, I died laughing. Baby Geniuses and the Space Baby. What? But maybe that's where he met John Voight, because I think John Voight was in the Baby Geniuses movie. Anyway,
Oh my goodness.
That is this Jail Family Ranch. I don't feel like I can safely give it a Leaf score because I haven't seen the first one. It just says is when Henry proposes, it looks like Rebecca will get her fairy tale ending until her daughter invites a visitor from her past to the ranch that will change the Petersons and Lambergs forever. So Carrie, since you've seen the original, how many Leafs will you give it? This new one? 3. Okay, 3 is good. Okay, now we have on the 11th, we have Picture Perfect Mysteries Exit Stage Death, which I think is a great name. I love
Great
that
name.
And this stars Alexa and Carlos Penavega, of course, and has Willie Ames from A's and F. Woohoo. And Pauline Egan, Nelson Wong are in the cast. It has directed by Ron Oliver. It's written by Marcy Holland, who Dory, we still have to watch Marcy Holland's shark movies because they're hilarious.
That's right. We need to do a pod with her.
Yes, we've interviewed her once before, and she's delightful.
But yeah, we have to talk to her specifically about sharks.
Yes, she's great, and we need to do that. But anyway, so the plot for this one is while backstage on opening night of a new play by celebrated murder mystery author director Neil Kahn, photographer Allie Adams discovers the body of the show's leading lady murdered before the curtain went up. As Willow Haven PD detective Sam Acosta launches his investigation, he invites Allie, who has been helpful in solving his first 2 murder cases since joining the force, to unofficially assist him on the case. However, Allie's involvement makes her a target for murder herself when she gets too close to the truth. So, Carrie, are you a fan of these mysteries?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I'm a fan of Hallmark mysteries. These ones, I'm like, ooh, I'm going to watch them because the Hallmark mysteries. I think that sometimes they try to do too much. I'm like, just stick with the mystery. They try to give this Sam a background story in New York.
Yeah.
Something happened, some trial, something, and I'm like, just get to the thing that you're here for. But I'm excited about this because the first one might have been a little clunky. The second one was better, so I'm hoping this one will be even better. Yeah.
Well, the second one was nice because it integrated kind of a jewel heist element, which that made it fun.
Yeah, that made it fun. And this, honestly, if you think of all the Hallmark mysteries, all of them, they need they have a stage thing, a stage mystery where there's all these players and, you know, on the stage and actors and actresses and stuff. And it introduces new characters without having to keep them on the show.
Yeah.
And, you know, I like that. I think that's kind of a fun, I don't know, fun storyline. So I'm looking forward to it.
I was a little disappointed, though, to not see Eric Estrada on the cast for this one. Because I thought that showed potential for a fun element in the second one.
Yeah.
But the rest of the cast is back. Sunita Prasad, she's fun as Maya. And Paul McGillen is back. The Willie Ames is, you know, in this one, so that should be interesting. But yeah, I've actually liked both of these so far, so I'm looking forward to this third one. And I think Ron Oliver directs with a certain degree of style and panache that you don't see with a lot of the other directors. And so I'm pretty excited about this one. I think it'll be fun. And I feel like the Hallmark Mysteries have done the theater thing a lot.
Right.
I mean, every franchise has had. There was in Mystery 101 had one. Aurora Teagarden recently had one. They had one. Garage Sales Mysteries had one. I mean, I just feel like they've done that plot a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm still pretty excited about it. So I'm going to give this one 4 leaves. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Dory?
I'm also going to go 4. I really like the Pennevegas. I love seeing them together. And I did enjoy the first 2 movies.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the Picture Perfect series so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about you, Carrie? Where are you at?
I'll say 4 as well. I too am. I just like the mysteries and like the way that they build up these characters and with the mystery series. So I'm rooting for it. Definitely. I'm going 4.
Okay, great. So last one we have is on the 19th. And I would say if there's one that's the most likely to get moved without any notice, it's probably this one. Because if they end up wanting to do Christmas movies early, this would be the one that would get the bump, but hopefully not. I mean, 19th, come on. It's Aurora Teagarden Mysteries Reunited, and it feels so deadly.
That title makes me laugh every time. I love it.
And this has all of our favorites back in for Aurora Teagarden, Candice Cameron, Niall Mater, Mary Lou Henner, Sasha Hayden, and I think that that this one will be a lot of fun to see them after. Spoiler alert to the last Aurora Teagarden, but after now they are engaged, so that's going to be fun to see what happens and their dynamic together. So I think that'll be fun. Hold on a second, let me find it. Sorry. Okay, and it's directed by directed by Martin Wood, written by Tina Booth, and it's Aurora's high school reunion turns deadly when a body is found in the hotel pool. Aurora and her Real Murders Club help investigate which classmate was most likely to kill. And so, yeah, we're getting high school reunion this time. So that should be pretty exciting. It sounds pretty grisly. Body found in the pool at the reunion.
You know what? Murder follows Aurora everywhere. We can't be surprised.
Yeah, at a certain point, they have to be thinking this Real Murders Club is bringing bad vibes.
For real. Why? I know. Why do people still keep going? I would have quit a long time ago.
Yeah, me too.
After, the first murder.
Yeah. What is that saying? Like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on you. I don't know.
And now it's like 20. What is there?
Once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I keep watching it. Shame on me.
Now there's like 15 of these movies, so there's no excuse.
I know it.
But are you a big fan of Aurora Teagarden, Dory?
Aurora has really grown on me. I did not start out a fan. As you know, I have a problem with a lot of the hair decisions that are made, and they distracted me in those first few movies. Okay. Yeah. We all remember Aurora with the long braid.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible.
So bad.
I didn't even watch the movie. I was just watching the braid. And so, but Aurora has grown on me. I think in the absence of my dearly departed garage sale mysteries, Aurora has really grown on me. Like that has become it's like coming home to see your friends again. So I'm looking forward to this one. I'm excited. I'm ready. I really like CCB. She's never really done me wrong, except for in that braid and except for in the Christmas movie where she's goes back in time or whatever. So I can't do it.
Don't even.
So I cannot do that one. That movie blew my mind. I never thought I would see an asteroid in a Hallmark movie. Okay. That was terrible. But
so bad.
I like some of her movies that other people do not. I Can Ride with CCB. Rachel does not understand why I love Switch for Christmas. I think it's great. I stand by it. Thank you, Kari. Thank you.
I like it.
It's good.
It is good. It reminds me, well, speaking of all those Parent Trap movies you just watched this week, it reminds me of that. Growing up with
except for the only difference between Switch for Christmas and those Parent Trap movies is that everyone knew they were switched. Everybody knew, so there was no drama or hilarity that could have ensued. It was just watching them plan parties for an hour and a half, and
I loved every minute. I could watch CCB planning out her snacks in Tupperware for 90 minutes, and I'd be just fine. That's how I feel about her.
It was a big hit, so you're not alone. I just
funny. I love
not
it.
my favorite, but in general, I like her. I like her when she's getting the shoe movie. I liked her in that. I like most of the Aurora movies. My favorite is still the one where they're shooting the movie. Movie within a movie, that's still my favorite. I think that's the best. But yeah, so this should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's amazing that we got it. We should all be grateful because it's amazing that this got filmed.
Yeah, for sure.
So there we go. So I'll give it 3.5 leaves for this one. Dory, what about you?
I'm going 4.
Okay. And Kari?
I'm going 4 as well. I think it can be a strong offering in the Aurora canon.
Agree.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let us know what you would give all of these movies that we talked about, how many leaves you want to give them. Please let us know in the comment section or on Twitter. We would really appreciate that. And make sure that you are following us all over social media, Hallmarkies Pod, Hallmarkies Podcast. We sure appreciate that. We try to post every day. Lots of fun stuff. If you are listening on iTunes, please leave us your ratings and reviews. We appreciate that so much. And we also, if you are watching on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and that is so helpful. And Kari, where can people find you?
They can find me on Instagram at Hallmark Comics. That's Hallmark_comics.
Great. And Dory, what about you?
You can find me at All the Feels Pod on Twitter, on Facebook, and at my podcast, All the Feels, wherever you download podcasts.
Great. Yes, make sure you're all following them. It's such good stuff. And we are going to be having our next patron watch along coming up soon.